one of the main things that Stan here has taught me, you always want to have a release command for your dogs. If you've heard Stan's story before about his dog running outside the house, running onto the street and get hit, it's a sad story, and it's why Stan is as great as he is today, because that's what inspired him to become a great dog trainer. That being said, I definitely took that story to heart. Nala at one point and Gia, we were at a park. I opened the door, Nala just jumps out, bolts across the street, almost gets hit by a truck, just because she had to go poop. But at the end of the day, there was no control there, and that right there was enough for me to, like, you know what, I completely understand Stan's plight, and I want to make sure all my dogs are safe. So ever since that moment, I made sure I worked on Gia, Tut, Junior, Nala, all of their release commands, because I'm not about to have that. So now, coming out of the crate, going out of the front door of the house, getting out of the car, they all now know how to wait. And I've been working on that with Trev's dogs, Cha-Cha, Hera, Ego, and Tron are the worst though, because they're just always amped up. But we got to teach patience. So in this case, we got Cha-Cha here. She's sitting here patiently waiting. I've been working on with them coming out of the crate, coming out of the back door, going into the house. It is a process. It takes time, but you got to be patient with it too, because sometimes they don't want to listen, and that's the part that can get frustrating. So Cha-Cha, you ready? Free. Good girl, Cha-Cha. Good girl, mama. And as you guys always know, we want to make sure we praise them up and get them excited. But what we're doing today, we're doing some socialization. We're out here. We need to do some more environment work with her. We went and did a photo shoot with her this morning. She's just like how you see, she's kind of like all over the place, trying to figure out what's going on. If you see Ego, he'll get out here and he'll just kind of get fixated on one thing, and he's all right, what are we about to go do? Very confident. One thing I've noticed about her tail though, normally her tail is super tucked. So, but we have been working with her though, getting her out more, getting her exposed to more environments. We're downtown Garland right now. They have a great area here in the middle of the downtown Garland that's was actually built for autistic kids. So all the playground equipment, it's all sensory driven. That was the word I was saying. It's all sensory driven. So we're about to go out here, see how she reacts. Then we're going to show you what it looks like with a confident dog, aka Rocco. We got Rocco in the building, and what that looks like, and then things that you guys can do at home to work on with your dogs. So we're going to assess her, see how she is with other people, how she does on these different surfaces, and then from there we'll then assess and see what it is that we need to work on when we go home, and then share exactly what that process is going to look like. So stay tuned, people. So as you see, Cha-Cha is slowly but surely getting more confident. Like I said, I've been getting around more. I've taken her to Home Depot. I've been taking her to Legacy West. She was out there this morning. She was still kind of a little skittish here and there, but as we continue to walk in these environments and keep loving them, letting them know it's okay, she's getting more confident on jumping on uncomfortable surfaces like these park benches. We highly encourage you, Stan, Trev, and even myself, learning firsthand from my own personal experiences, you got to get them out as early as possible. All my dogs, they know how to chill in the car and ride in the car because they've driven with me everywhere. And then now Junior, Nala, they're a lot more confident in other places because, just like I've said, I get them out as much as possible to all these different environments. Cha-Cha is now slowly but surely getting there. You guys have seen her growth through the past couple years, where she's been super reactive, very nervous, but now she's starting to get a little bit more confident. So we're gonna go test her over this way. Come on. Good girl, and see how she does.
Do you have something? All right, so Cha-Cha, we've noticed a couple of things with her. She doesn't really understand the leash manners, so this is one thing that we're going to start showing her, that pulling on the leash doesn't get her the reward that she's wanting. So get your treat, left hand, other hand, there you go, and then you're going to put it in front of her nose. Get her in a heel position, boom. And then you're going to start showing her how to be successful in a walking position. So keep it close to her, and then walk. And then when you stop, have her sit and reward. Just give her a little piece of it.
A little piece of it?
Yep. And then you're gonna go, and then you're making a about turn. Go. So we want her to start understanding that paying attention to you is beneficial. So even there, she was got distracted, but you've made that turn, and then now she's gonna pay attention more because she's like, oh, where are we going? Where are we going?
Gotcha.
Instead of trying to let her figure out where she's going, you're showing her.
So I keep, now the treat or just keep walking?
Use a treat.
And then just start walking across the street?
Yep. Because just like now, you don't want her pulling out in front of this car. You don't want her pulling out in front of that car just because.
Yeah.
You want her to be waiting on basically your release cue again.
Yeah.
So now, get her back there. Tell her heel.
Heel or left. In your case, it's left.
Yep, I use left. And then...
Left.
Wait. Now cross. All of these things are going to keep your dog safe. You don't want them just pulling any which way that they want to. Like he said earlier, I got a dog that got hit by a car, so all of this stuff is really serious for me because it's literally one misstep and you can lose your dog forever. So we're gonna work on her leashing across the street a little bit more. Good.
So in this moment, when she starts to pull, do I turn around?
Yep, you can either change direction or you gotta tell her she's messing up as well.
So that's why I give a little pop or at?
Okay. At and a little correction on the leash. Good. And then when she's doing right, make sure you tell her. Because she's like, oh, do you like this? Nope, you don't? Okay, I'm gonna go figure out what else I need to do.
Good girl, Cha-Cha.
There you go.
Good girl. Good girl.
See, when she has something else to do besides worrying about the big truck that's going by and the surfaces that she's on, she's going to be more likely to understand that this is how she needs to act in these situations. So we got to make sure we show our dogs how to be successful.
Go, Cha-Cha. Okay.
Look at that, look at that. So when you're getting your dog out, like Jamarcus was saying, this is a really good place because the surface changes. It goes from like a tally material to this pea gravel. So she's pulling a little bit too much, so he's gonna show her, hey, that's not how we do it. And then give her a cue like see if she'll correct it on her own. And she can explore and sniff around as long as she's not getting that leash to be tension on that leash and pulling and dragging. But this is a socializing experience, so we want her to explore. We want her to venture out and stuff because that's been one of her issues. Oh, you almost fell?
Yeah. Ooh, so this right here, let's check this out.
Yeah, so she can be out in front sniffing around, but as long as that leash isn't super tight.
What's going on, man? What's going on, man? You good? What's going on? Yeah, good girl, good girl.
Little maze.
Come on, let's go. Let's go do this. There we go. There we go. Girl, Cha-Cha. Good girl, Cha-Cha. Yes, good girl. We're doing so good.
Now stop and reward.
Good girl.
So the only critique is her butt was not all the way on the ground.
I know, I got that too. Oh! That is not what you think it is, people. That is not what you think it is. Oh man, that's the only worst part about wearing black pants when you're working with your dog is that you gonna get some of this, unfortunately. Oh my gosh.
Especially if you have drooly dogs.
I know. Man, shout out to all people out there. I salute you who have a drooly dog. Y'all know exactly what this is. Man, dang, you just spit up right up on me. But yeah, I caught that her butt wasn't all the way down too. So all these little things matter, people. If y'all seen Stan's work, even with boots specifically, you know, everything's super tight, super efficient, and it's because he pays attention to the details. So just be mindful of those little things. Even when I rewarded her, I should have waited maybe even almost a half a second longer for her to be down and then hit her with that reward. So stay tuned as we're about to go get on some more contraptions as we continue to build out Cha-Cha. Here we go, good girl. Staircase is one of the #1 things that most dogs are usually afraid of, people, because they've never seen them, especially when they're pups. So if you've seen us do a lot of the stuff when we have our puppies, we build staircases early on, so when they do go to their forever homes, going upstairs is not an issue. But if you get a pup and they haven't done any developmental work with them and they're afraid of staircases, that's usually one of the #1 reasons why. So if you live in an area where there's a lot of staircases, get them out as early as possible. Get them on staircases going up and down, up and down, up and down. Obviously have rewards. and that will continue. That'll be one less thing you have to worry about long term when you're building your dog and your dog's confidence. But so far, so good. Cha-Cha, successful day out here in this environment. The one thing that we've noticed that we need to work on with her is leash manners. So we'll keep working on with her. Anything else that you saw that we might need to work on with her, Stan?
That's been the main thing. Just she's getting a little overexcited. But again, she's not hiding and trying to get away. She's exploring.
Gotcha.
So that's better than, you know, the
So
latter.
is that overexcitement, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
If it goes unpositioned or undirected, yes, it'll be a bad thing, because again, she's going to be pulling too much. You can get pulled out in the street. She can get hit by a car, anything like that.
And that's what the leash manners, correct?
Yeah, and I like an over-the-top dog because you can dial them back a whole lot easier than
Gotcha.
a dog who is a spook.
And
So
then-
like she gets a correction and she doesn't shut down.
Gotcha.
She's still trying to go and be fine, and that's what I like in a dog.
So then what would you recommend for people who are probably potentially dealing with some of these type of issues as far as just leash manners out here, and then also being a little overstimulated in these type of environments?
Basically just start slow with your dog.
Okay.
So don't try to do too much. If she would have had a bad experience at the very beginning, we probably wouldn't have pushed her this much today.
So it's just reading your dog in the very beginning, kind of seeing how they respond. And this is very true. You know, I've said it in other videos. One of the things that we like to do, and I learned this from Trev, is when we go down to the farmers markets, the first thing we do, instead of just jumping right into the middle of the chaos, we find a bench, we sit down for about 10 to 15 minutes, let the dog get kind of used to what's going on in the environment, the smells, the sounds, the people walking by, the kids walking by. All of these little things could be potential triggers for your dog if they're not exposed to them. So you gotta make sure, like Stan said, take your time, start slow, pay attention to your dog and how they're responding to the environment when they first come out, and that should then go ahead and tell you, okay, we maybe should only spend maybe 10 to 15, 20 minutes max out here, you know, maybe just sitting on a bench, and just kind of let them get used to that. Go home, come back in a couple of days, and then maybe we'll take the next step. And then in addition to sitting on the bench, then we'll go out into the middle of the playground area out here and then kind of explore a little bit more, and just baby steps, step by step, as Stan would say, brick by brick. So as always, people, stay tuned, take care of your dogs. Cha-Cha did a really great job today out here in her socialization experiment. So get your dogs out there, work with them, take your time. As Stan's, like I said, brick by brick. And as always, just do your best. Explain to us what you're seeing right now. Whoa.
All right, so we missed the initial one, but the ground, it's not solid under it. So she started walking and got a little hesitant. So what Marcus is doing is he's getting her mind off of the insecurity. She's working for something. So she's not thinking about, oh, there she goes. So get her closer to the edge as well. So dogs take everything little. So she thinks she might fall off this cliff. See, there she goes. She's trying to get real low to the earth.
It's okay. It's okay. So what do I do in this moment right now?
All right, so you got to get more excited as well. You can't get nervous.
Yeah, let's go. Let's not get nervous. Let's go. Let's have a
There you go. Now have her sit.
Sit. Good girl. Come on, mama.
And reward.
Yes. Good girl.
Good job.
Good girl, mama. And see, this is where you got to pay attention to your energy as well, too, people. Is one thing Stan caught. He's like, hey, you don't get nervous either, because the moment you start getting nervous, then they get more nervous. And that's one thing I know I've been working on primarily is my energy, trying to have more fun, trying to be more excited, and definitely trying to lead our dogs with confidence so that they can go confident into situations as well, too, because they can feel that. And then once again, like the leash is an extension of yourself. So if they feel the tension, then they're gonna get tense. They're gonna get tense. So
Walk her around a little bit more. You see, she's trying to exit. She's trying to escape. So this is a very nervous behavior. She's trying to get down to the ground. If I'm all the way to the ground, I'm safe. In their mind. So we just gotta work her through. And in situations like this, you can't force the dog to overcome, because you're just gonna cause more issues. You don't want it to be a fight.
Sit. Left. Ooh, almost. There we go.
Yeah, that's a little better.
A little bit.
And things like this just take time. So what you're gonna do now is you're gonna tell her free and take her out, because she's not trying to get away on her own. She's waiting for you. You're giving her the cue that, okay, now we're done. You did what you needed to do, and now we're done.
All right, we'll get you.
Okay, now you can go.
I'm glad we caught that, people, so y'all can learn.
Let's go.
All right, so then probably we want to end on a good note, right? At this point, we want to probably go put her up.
So walk around on this one, because it's not as high and she's not as insecure.
Cha-cha. And get her close to the fence.
Yeah.
Cha-cha. go.
Oh, she don't like that. So yeah, try to get one more positive thing, and then we're gonna take her back because she's shutting down.
Okay, come here, mama. Sit. Free, good girl. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.